video, we will be analyzing the activity of putting a laptop in a backpack. As a college student, I participate in the occupation of education. An important tool for this occupation is a laptop, as it can be used for notes, exams, quizzes, and all other assignments. My laptop is very important to me, so remembering to always bring it with me is crucial, especially since I always tend to forget something. The movements can be broken up into 5 phases, starting with the stance phase. This is typically static. Notice that Morgan is standing in a sturdy and comfortable position, which prepares the body to initiate a movement. She has also positioned herself at a comfortable distance from the table, which will provide more stability as she reaches for the laptop in the next phase. Next is the preparatory phase, which is also known as the wind-up phase. In this section, the muscles are prepared to generate the force and momentum needed to lift up and lower the laptop, as well as open and hold open the backpack. The third phase is known as the movement phase, which is the action part of the task, and the acceleration and motion phase. This is demonstrated as Morgan is lifting up the laptop with her right arm, as well as opening the backpack with her left arm. Afterwards is the follow-through phase, also known as the deacceleration phase. This is where the velocity of the movements decrease as the body segments prepare to stop motion, which is seen as Morgan is lowering the laptop into the bag. Lastly is the recovery phase. Following the follow-through phase, in this phase, the body prepares to regain balance and positioning to fully stop motion and to then start another movement, which is seen as Morgan returns to her original position. When looking at her left extremity, her movement is initiated by shoulder and elbow flexion. As the shoulder continues to flex, it also slightly internally rotates, as well as adduction and horizontal adduction. The elbow then begins to extend after flexing to reach out to prepare and then grasp the bag. Her forearm is pronated throughout the entire task. Her wrist starts slightly flexed in her natural position, which then turns into extension when reaching out for the bag. Her thumb CMC joint is primarily adducted for the entirety of the activity until the recovery phase. Her thumb MCP and IP joints moved into full extension until recovery. For digits 2 through 5 at the MCP, PIP, and DIP joints, they start in a flex position and flex the entire time until the recovery phase. The elbow also simultaneously flexes and then extends during recovery. When examining the right extremity, starting with the preparatory phase, movement is initiated by shoulder flexion, external rotation, adduction, and horizontal adduction. The elbow is flexed first and then extended. The forearm is in supination and the wrist extends. In the thumb, the CMC joint palmarily adducts and the MP and the IP joint extend. In the digits, the MCP joint flexes and the PIP and DIP joints extend. In the movement phase, the shoulder extends, horizontally abducts, and internally rotates. The elbow flexes, and although the forearm is in supination position, it is the pronators that are being fired to hold the weight of the laptop. The wrist is in extension position, but the flexors are also being used to carry the weight of the laptop. In the thumb, there is palmar adduction, and the CMC joint and the MP and the IP joints are flexed, even though they are 0 degrees. In the digits, the MCP joint, the PIP, and the DIPs are all flexed even though they look like they are fully extended. In the follow-through phase, the shoulders flex, externally rotates, adducts, and horizontally adducts. The elbow extends and the forearm is still using the pronator muscles. The wrist is still flexing. Nothing in the thumb or the digits have changed from the movement phase. And finally, during recovery, the shoulder extends, horizontally abducts, and internally rotates. The elbow flexes first and then extends. The forearm is returned to pronation. The wrist also flexes. In the thumb, the CMC joint palmarily abducts, and the MCP and the IP joints flex. The MCP, PIP, and DIP joints in the digits also flex. It can be additionally noted that there is also cervical spine and trunk flexion starting in the preparatory phase and continued till the end of the follow-through phase. During recovery, the cervical spine and trunk extend back into the neutral position.